Ladies, gentlemen, everyone of all ages, welcome back to episode 7 of the Dark Dungeon of Pop Culture E1 Jabbas podcast, Jabbas Dungeon podcast. Let me redo that.
I was about to say you
I had it. I had it on just like the cusp. One thing I was thinking about before the Dark Dungeon of Pop Culture, what if like one thing I was thinking of is like what if I did this could be dumb, like reporting from the outer rim of Tatooine. We're here in the Dark Dungeon of Pop Culture, the Jabba's Dungeon podcast, like that sort of thing.
Whatever you feel flows better, go for it.
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay.
I was like, look at my fucking grail.
Well, no, I'm trying to.
Bro's got the Ark of the Covenant.
I did whenever I had the Indiana Jones figures.
Oh.
Wow, you sold them. You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You sold them?
Yeah, it was one of those things where, I mean, they quit the line after.
Oh.
Because, well, they only did 4 waves for the original trilogy and then Dial of Destiny. Skipped Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And then they weren't going to make any more because, that's it. And still missed a lot of characters they could have done, like Molaram, which there was a prototype for him, and then it never made it past production, I guess, because they thought it would be inappropriate.
They should have done like a Build-A-Figure like Nazi Brute.
They did that in the little the 3 3/4 scale.
Mm-hmm.
They like the brawler that gets his head. Yeah, they did him in that scale, but they didn't do it in 6-inch.
I got a whole like box full of the 3-inch ones, and it's like all the characters. Like, nice. Why the fuck? Why can't we get more? It was so stupid. I totally understand why you did it there.
Yeah.
But if you want to retry the intro,
yeah,
go for it.
I was gonna say I'll try and not fuck up this time. Episode 2 of a blooper.
Oh, you're good. I can chop that out.
No, leave it in. We'll fucking.
We're going raw.
We'll just make a compilation of me fucking up. All right. Reporting from the outer rim of Tatooine, this is episode 7 of the Dark Dungeon of Pop Culture, the Jabba's Dungeon podcast, with, as always, the Tyler Bell, the Avery, and we are currently waiting on Chadwick. And then myself, the biggest Joker 2 hater in the tri-state area. Welcome back, boys. And it is good seeing you all, as always. And yes, I got a big dumpy diaper after after my most recent theater experience with said Joker Foley doo-doo. I'll take it away.
It's a safe space.
All right. So, turns out Todd Phillips, with the first Joker, just happened to look out on a good script and a good performance by Joaquin Phoenix, because what you get in the second film, I feel, is no direction, and you're kind of just centering the film around the idea of what if Arthur Fleck has a separate personality that is the Joker. Because, spoilers, in the opening scene, you get this Looney Tunes-esque, about 5-minute opening short that illustrates Arthur as the Joker having this big, like, slapstick, combative fight sequence with his shadow. and his shadow takes on the persona of the Joker. So it's the Joker, and then there's just regular Arthur, and that kind of sets you up for that idea in the beginning of the film, which I really liked that opening scene. I thought it worked for me. But then I felt like as the film went on, which in the first half I didn't completely hate the film. I There was a lot of parts where I smiled throughout, and there was a lot of good moments. But man, as that second half just went on, and certain characters made certain decisions after Harley left Arkham, I felt like a lot of the wind was taken out of the sails narrative wise, because the film, for the most part, only takes place in Arkham and a courtroom. And any bit of kind of narrative exploration or, real big points of action happens in the musical sequences. And that would be fine. And a lot of people have talked about how they don't like musicals. I don't necessarily mind musicals, and it wasn't a thing of it being a musical. It's just bad writing and just a slap in the face, I feel like, of everything that Todd Phillips has kind of set up with the fans in the first one. I'm just going to talk about the scene that just beyond belief made me say, fuck this movie. Okay. So you're led up to this point to where Joker Arthur Fleck is being represented in court by this lawyer that wants to plead that Arthur has multiple personalities and that the Joker is a separate persona, and that's not Arthur. That was Joker that committed the crimes in the first film. So after all of this just dragging, just recounting the events of the first movie in the courtroom. There's like not new developments. Zazie Beetz comes back for like a scene where she just talks about exactly what we saw. There was no insight, and it just leads on furthermore. But either way, it led to Arthur firing his attorney on the spot. It led to him representing himself in court, which I thought was sick. I thought that was a really cool idea. And then it led to Arthur, pleading his own case, and Gary comes back. And that's like what a lot of people have been talking about. That's one of the best scenes in the film is whenever Gary's up on the witness stand and Arthur is directly talking to him. And Gary has this really good speech, proclamation about how he used to not be afraid before the events that happened in the first film where Randall was killed in front of him. He used to not be afraid. Despite his size and his vulnerability, he never thought about, what dangers could just be around the corner, what could happen to him. And that was like perfectly executed as far as leading Arthur. It made him take a step back. It made him realize like why am I doing what I do? Like, is this really me? Like, I like Gary, I don't want to just, I don't want to make people afraid of me. I just want to, he's just wanting to express himself. Either way, that in itself is a perfect reason for me for Arthur to have that conflict of whether or not he truly is Joker. The thing that I don't like, and I feel like it's not the plot element as a whole, because I feel like in certain movies it can work. There's been a lot of movies that I've watched where something like this takes place and it's fine. But in this, it is so gratuitous and unnecessary. Arthur, after one of his first court dates of representing himself, and he made mention of the guards at Arkham and how they're all just like, not good and they're crooked and stuff. It led to Arthur being brought in to Arkham like after the court date, he's brought back into Arkham, and then the guards are like beating the shit out of him, and they're rubbing the makeup and stuff off his face. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, I can get with this. And then they're dragging Arthur around this like little corner where the showers are, and it's implied that it was like 3 or 4 guards raped Arthur, and I was just like, "What the actual fuck are we doing? Why in God's name would you fucking do that?" That's so just again, it works in films. Like, it's not just that I'm outright like, "No, I can't have that in a movie. I can't have that." It's just so inconsequential because you had the moments that led up with Gary. Because this is the thing, boys. When he got raped, he had a moment where he was sitting in his cell, just face down, just defeated. And then that very next court trial, he he exclaims that he's not the Joker, that it was all a facade. So it's like Todd Phillips kind of made that scene of him just being like completely dehumanized, which you would think would be like give him the utmost reason to be like, yeah, fuck society, fuck everybody, I'm gonna be the fucking Joker and I'm gonna get revenge on these fucks. He didn't get revenge. These guards made it to the end of the movie just sitting there with their arms crossed looking at him, at Arthur, and it was just it fucking blew my mind. It's still blowing my mind recounting it because it's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, why could we not have a moment like in the first film when he's getting the shit beat out of him in the subway? I was ready for him to grab one of the guards' guns or one of their nightsticks and start beating the shit or shooting them, and he just gets violated, and it's so fucking just unnecessary. It's just so like it really fucks with, I feel like, Arthur's character, because at the end of the film, in the first Joker, when you got Arthur, he's completely confident, he's him, like, he's his utmost fucking fiendish Joker self. In this film, he's back to being meek Arthur in the beginning. And this especially just brings him right back down to the fucking worst, place he's ever been. And it's just like, why would you shoot your character that you made so renowned in your first film? Why would you shoot him in the foot and just bring him right back down to square one? I absolutely fucking hated that part of the film. And I didn't completely turn my brain off, but when I saw that, I just laughed. I was like, are we fucking serious? Is this what we're doing? And the more I think about it, the more I fucking hate it. Any thoughts? Did you all know that was a certain scene?
I'd seen a post that had kind of like, just so you know, Arthur, gets beaten by the prison guards, and I saw that and I skipped it, but I didn't know it had that much to do with like his identity or the extent of it.
I saw on Twitter that it was stated that that happened, but I thought that was just like a Twitter meme to shit on the film. And I was like, I really hope that doesn't happen. And now that you say that, like, what the fuck? Why the fuck? That would be a prime example, like you said, to bring him back into a darker place and bring Joker to life even more. I mean, holy fuck. Holy fuck.
Now, what's this with Heath Ledger?
Let me just fucking
So
step over the rest of this shit because um
Oh no. Oh no.
Jesus Christ, guys. There was this one scene before. I'm backtracking, but fuck this film. Fuck Todd Phillips. Don't fucking support this film. Fucking go see Transformers 1 or The Wild Robot. There's a scene right before Arthur is like, yeah, I'm not the Joker. I'm not the Joker, baby. Where he's actually, I think it's the scene with Gary. He is doing a foghorn leghorn impression. The fucking chicken or rooster off of Looney Tunes. He's doing a like impression of him throughout the whole thing. of the whole scene, and it's so just fucking off-putting and weird. It's not even like a good kind of weird. You're just like, what are we doing? What is this? So, with the Heath Ledger thing, let me just run you through the basis of what the end of this film leads you up to. Like, what's the end? So, this fucking movie is going to break my fucking mind because there's so much stupid shit that leads up to this that I have to contextualize it a lot. Okay, so you're in the courtroom again. Fucking surprise, surprise. You got Arthur about to just get fucked by they're about to throw the book at him because he's like, I'm not Joker, fucking throw me in jail, fucking give me the chair, whatever. Who fucking cares? And then out of nowhere, a fucking bomb goes off and explodes out a wall in the courtroom, and I'm just sitting there like, okay. And Arthur's oh my god, do you all know Harvey Dent's in this movie?
But yeah, because someone graciously commented that on our TikTok short for.
That dude, as far as I'm concerned, he could have there could have not have been a name drop, and you would have not known he was Harvey Dent. But fucking Todd Phillips has fucking had exactly probably like one working brain cell throughout the process of this, and he was like, "Oh, it's fucking Harvey Dent." So after the bomb explosion, you look at him and half of his fucking body is caught up in the explosion, of course. But either way, that was just like a shot passing by. So Arthur stumbles out into the street, and two Joker supporters set off a car bomb and retrieved Arthur, and it's one dude that's like dressed up in the complete getup of Arthur at the end of the first film, and then there's another dude in a like one of those clown masks in the beginning that were in the beginning of the first film. And you're getting the perspective of Arthur. He's in the back lying down, and they're driving. They drive up to where like the beginning of the first film takes place, and they're talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna burn the whole city down. Arthur's like, no, I don't want to be Joker anymore. So he gets out and runs away from these guys, and he goes back to the steps of the first film, and he's going to the steps to meet up with Harley Quinn. Another point that happened whenever Arthur proclaimed he's not the Joker is Harley left the trial because she's been in like the pews in the back, like witnessing it all. And she's just down for some Joker dick. Like she's not wanting nothing to do with Arthur. Like she only cares about the Joker. So once he makes the claim that Arthur and Joker are separate, she's not really fucking with Arthur. So when he goes up to the steps and meets Harley, he's like, okay, I escaped. We can finally like be together and do our own thing. She's like, nah, I'm not really feeling it. You're not who I thought you were. And I was expecting him to get shot by her. And I would have been more okay with that than the latter of what actually happens. Back to that later. So she basically dumps him. My boy Arthur is a fucking simp, and I'm just sitting there like with my fucking I'm just in disbelief. The cops come. So he went from Arkham to the courtroom to the stairs, and he gets apprehended by the cops and goes back to fucking Arkham. The story just goes into a big fucking circle and nothing happens. So he goes back to Arkham. He's got no bitch. He's got no fucking clout. And throughout the film, you got these shots of this just random prisoner just like looking. And you're just like, whatever. And then there is Arthur sitting, and a guy is like, one of the guards is like, hey, you got a visitor. And I'm like, I don't even know. Like for all I know, fucking Killer Croc could be in the other side of the fucking of the visitor seat. For all I know, just with what was happening. So Arthur is walking down the hall, and the guard's like a little bit ahead of him. The guard goes ahead and exits the hallway into, I guess, where the visitor place is, and that inmate that you got some cutaways of, like, sporadically throughout the film behind Arthur, and he's like, "Hey, Arthur, real quick, can I tell you a joke?" And Arthur's like, "Yeah, sure, if you make it quick." And basically, that inmate has like a joke, and then at the end of it, it ends with, "You get what you fucking deserve." He pulls out a shank, and he fucking shanks Arthur like 4 or 5 times, and Arthur fucking lies down, bleeds out, and one of his last like thoughts is with Harley on stage during one of their fucking musical montages, because that's all this fucking film has. And as you get the shot of Arthur bleeding out, it kind of is like pulled out, and you get Arthur in the foreground, and blurred out in the background, you get a guy, that inmate, you get him with his shank carving a smile into his face, and I'm like, fuck this. So, like, I don't necessarily think that was intended to be Heath Ledger's Joker. I think it was just kind of more so stated as like, well, I mean, Todd Phillips has said Arthur Fleck apparently is not the Joker, even though he fucking stated in his script for the first one that Arthur is the Joker. Either way, I think it was just like Arthur's um, iconography as the Joker led to a development of another Joker. But a lot of people thought it was Heath Ledger's Joker, but I don't think the times would have fallen correctly. But it was just such a fuck you to the fans, because that's how it ended, and it was just so stupid.
Well, even the Harvey Dent situation wouldn't work out if
Mm.
it was Heath Ledger's
True.
Joker. I mean,
I
like,
didn't even think of that.
I mean, with you explaining that, because I'd seen where people were saying like Heath Ledger's Joker is at the end of the movie, so I was like, that shouldn't work out. And then I was seeing the Christopher Nolan comments, and I was like, did they really just like shoehorn a connection in to connect?
Which, for context, it was stated in the first film whenever Arthur's on top of the squad car in the big crowd of fans, whenever he does the smile with the blood in his mouth. Originally, that was going to be him carving a smile into his face, which again, yeah, like, why would you do that? Just, not needed. What ended up being was really fucking good, but again, Christopher Nolan not with Warner Brothers anymore. You got Todd Phillips just at the reign, and fuck it, why not? That's a popular Joker. Like, another Joker can do that. It's like, not every Joker has to carve a fucking smile on his face, and Todd Phillips, you're a fucking hack. You suck.
So he basically pulled a Rob Zombie Halloween 2 on this
Basically.
I like, if you're gonna spend the time making a second film, why not go balls deep into like was said before? Yeah. Like, oh, I'm gonna fucking, I don't give a fuck about the Joker, but I'm gonna make a Joker too. I got the money. You could have, like, fucking year one Joker. You have all these possibilities. What the fuck are we doing? This could have been bigger than Joker, the first Joker, if you would have dove deep into just Joker itself with Harley. I mean, that would have been a cool ending too, though. Harley shooting him down the stairs. That would have been cool.
Would have liked that a lot better than him getting shanked by some random prisoner.
Yeah, that ending sounds so shit, to be honest. It's like, oh, anybody can be a Joker. It's like, we wanted him to be a Joker. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, what is that? The rape scene. That, I've been thinking about that in my head when you said that. I was just like,
All right, I'll say, like, it's like they don't like show anything outright. Like I said, it's alluded to, but it's just so fucking just like unnecessary and just distasteful.
I don't.
It's like, why would you put, after what everything, like what Arthur has been through as a character and what he's put through, in this first film, in the first film, and then the second film, like, why is that even necessary? And
Yeah.
again, with everything that led up to Gary, that is the perfect reason for him to be like, to question the Joker. But he could have just got beat up by the guards. There didn't have to be any anything like
Yeah,
that.
I
It's just, what the fuck are you doing?
I think that's unnecessary and kind of I know it fits like the mental illness. People can do whatever they want, guards wise, but it's like in this, I don't feel like that's really a key frame to the story or needed at
No.
all. Like,
You're in a comic book movie, dude. You don't need to
yeah,
fucking reinvent the wheel, or just like, this was, I'm sure, purely just to get people talking. It's fucking, it's disgusting.
yeah, like
It's payday.
yeah, like talk like how iconic it was when he smeared the blood on top of that car on top of his face. That was such a fucking like iconic moment, and you're like, this dude is the Joker. And then from that to this, I don't think I will even see this movie as like canon whatsoever in my
No.
brain. I think Joker 1 was perfect on its own.
Yep. You will not catch me rewatching this. I just, like I said, initial watch was a 2 star. The longer I thought about it, I dropped it down to a 1.5. It's just, it's fucking terrible.
Plus, like the lip reading thing that's going on with him and Lady Gaga about saying maybe
Hmm.
it's terrible. If that's true, holy fuck.
Another thing that came out for the reports was Lady Gaga signed on to the script before she had even realized, or she had signed on to the movie before the script was finished. And Todd did not consult with James Gunn or DC. James Gunn left him notes graciously, and Todd Phillips apparently wiped his ass with that. I mean,
If he was just done with it, maybe just hand
yeah,
it to
not
off.
get, hand it off or just not do it. Like, I hate it just because whenever it first got announced, I was like, why are they doing a second Joker? But I saw the trailer and I got excited and I got caught up and I was like, this will probably be good. The first one was good. Why would this one not be good?
That's insane.
Now, I would say, like, I have no issue with. I mean, of course, I've not watched the movie, so it might change a little bit. I don't have an issue with the story that they were telling turning into Arthur not being the Joker in that universe. Because honestly, I don't think that Arthur would be able to go up against like a Batman. Like, he's definitely not the smart, calculating Joker. He's just all over the place. But I do think that them not making him the Joker and the route they went down was the wrong way to do it.
He didn't even have to be the Joker, but like, don't kill the guy. I mean, just after everything the character's been through, I mean, there just could have been a better way of doing that. Like, he could have passed it down to somebody, or like Harley could have shot him, and then there would have been like news reports flashing on the fucking screen in the prison in Arkham, and then maybe that could cause the guy to fucking cut his face. I mean, I just fucking thought of a better ending just off the top of my head as opposed to what we got. Like, oh my god. Um, One real quick thing. I don't normally subscribe to the I don't know. This is kind of conspiracy theory esque, but I actually think this might be something. So this is Twitter talk. So take it with a grain of salt. But Todd Phillips hates the audience he indirectly catered to with the first film. There was a lot of talk of like incels identifying with Arthur Fleck and people sympathizing with the violence that he did in it and his actions and not really seeing it for what it was. So in turn, Todd made this second film to be like, actually, that person you identified with and thought was this big messiah is not even the Joker. Much like a lot of the Joker's followers in the second movie that are thinking he's the Joker and he turns out not to be and they're pissed. It's like he done that to the audience as like a direct middle finger. And some people think it's clever. I think it's just fucking stupid because
Yeah.
I feel like he ended up, like I said, he ended up catering to an audience he didn't necessarily intend to cater to. So he was like, let me just backtrack and just trample all over what I'd done in the first film.
What drives me nuts nowadays is like I like the Batman, how realistic it is somewhat, you know. But I feel like when it comes to like the Batman movies and just within the world of it, it's just trying to be too fucking realistic. It's like it's a comic book movie. Like why do we have to be like why do we have it to be so hyper realistic that, you know, we get people kind of like second guessing things, and I I don't know.
That's another reason why I'd be interested to hear like your thoughts on like the Christopher Nolan trilogy and stuff, because I mean the more comic book aspects that they do that Matt Reeves hits on with the Batman, um, I just like resonate more and more with. I mean, because after reading Year One and Long Halloween, it's just like really comic book
Yeah,
like.
don't get me wrong. I love the Christopher Nolan movies. Like I grew up mainly with those, and then kind of like went back and watched like '89 Batman and so forth. But I kind of grew up with Batman and Robin and whatever, you know, George Clooney stuff. But and whoever else I'm forgetting the one other Batman. But those were nice. But Christopher Nolan, I really liked his movies, especially Dark Knight. The first one of my favorite Batman movies. That Batman suit, I still fucking love, and I wish McFarlane would make a Batman figure based off that one. It's just, I don't
My
know,
boy was with a thick neck.
Mhm.
A man had a thick neck.
Dude. He'd scare the shit out of me, fucking beating my ass with that thick ass neck and shit.
One of the best scenes is whenever who is it that he pulls through the ceiling of the limousine? Is that Falcone? Swear, or no, he doesn't say swear to me. He's like, no, that's when he drops the I'm Batman.
I can't remember who it was, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but then there was the one. Who did he say swear to me?
There was one. It was not Gordon, but his like the other
His
cop.
lackey, yeah, the
Yeah,
crooked cop.
and he was like eating a sandwich or some shit, and he got pulled up. He was a big heavy
Yeah,
set dude.
he's like, I swear to God. He says, swear to me. That's another reason for us to have a Batman month. Second week in a row talking about the Batman month.
This is basically just a Batman channel.
It basically is. Another Batman
Like-
property. Let's go into episode 3 of The Penguin.
Fucking fresh off of watching it, I absolutely loved it. I love how we dive into Victor's life a little bit more, and I
He
love
needed it.
what is it?
He needed it a lot.
Yes, he needed it.
He definitely did. Yeah.
Story.
And just like right off the bat, I was like, because I was confused at first. I was like, "What's going on?" Like, what? You know, they're together with the girlfriend, supposedly, and then I noticed all the bombs going off. I was like, "Oh, I know exactly where we're at now." And it just hitting his family. I was like, "Holy shit, that's crazy." That's a good way to show, you know, perspective of like what's actually going on in the city. I love that.
It definitely offered a good different perspective from just seeing it from the Riddler in Arkham. It adds that there were countless people killed, and just seeing it from Vic being up on the roof and having a view of his apartment just immediately getting just flooded was just it just fucking hurt.
Mm.
I thought that was a really well done opening scene. Um, Another scene, like it took me like two parts because the first half was like kind of, I thought was all right. I thought it was pretty good. The second half just fucking killed. One of the scenes that I really liked was at the restaurant whenever Vic and Oz sitting down, and again on more of Vic's backstory. Vic was talking about his dad, and Oz was he was being a big old softy this episode. I was loving it. I mean, he was talking about, I loved how he was showing himself.
Yeah, especially towards the end of the episode, which I guess we can try to keep it kind of chronological order. But you
But
know,
keep the thought. No, throw the thoughts out. Is it the when he in the bathroom?
yeah, when he's so like this entire their relationship so far in the show has definitely been, he's still like his like lackey, but like he has that soft spot for him. So, whenever he finds out that Vic is kind of thinking about wanting to leave him, and then he's just like, you know, you think I'm like keeping you here? And then when he pulls out his gun, he's like, is this what it feels like? And I'm like, well, I guess when you put it like that, it doesn't, but like I'm still scared you would do it anyway. But
Man, but
like,
just even you saying that is so good.
and back to the opening shot with when he's, up on the top of the apartment building with his, I'm gonna just say girlfriend because I don't remember her name. We'll just say
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
But they're up there, and he experiences Gotham being flooded, and then hop over to when they're in the club, and he's walking around, and first, I think around that point it's like showing that she's like kind of blowing him up. I think around that point being like, "Hey, where are you?" Maybe.
Yeah, like about to get on the bus. Where you at?
Yeah. And then like so you have him contemplating, well, if I go with her, I'll be happy. I'll have somebody with me all the time. But then you get one of these party girls that are coming up to him. Not only number one seducing him, in a way, kind of, because obviously they're on drugs and everything, but also when he breaks down into like kind of reliving the flood
He's
thing,
definitely got PTSD.
and that's just like an inner struggle of him being like, you know, this isn't my lifestyle. So then jump back. Sorry, I'm just like, this episode was like what I needed
Mm,
after. I like the second episode, but this one hit the like emotional.
yeah, I
So
agree.
it's back to whenever they're in the bathroom and Vic's like, my dad wouldn't be proud of me. But then, Penguin's like, I don't think your dad would be proud of you for not doing anything with your life either. Because that was like his whole thing is you're seeing leaving Gotham as a way to do something with your life, but in reality, you're not going to have anything, which isn't true. But also, Oz's life has been crime. So that's about how he's going to perceive it. But also, to a degree, he's right because Vic could become a huge player in like the crime organizations in Gotham. I don't know. Like the episode was just really good. And I watched
So,
it on my lunch break at work. So like I was like I had it propped up when I was eating going
well,
like
it's good that you say like he hasn't seen like Oz hasn't seen his life outside of Gotham is good also because he sees Victor kind of like himself because he started out as a driver as well that he stated in this episode of Sophia's driver, so he can see how much his life can expand and how much he can have. So I thought that was a good little nice little touch.
Yeah, I love the vulnerability. I was very surprised of just overall the vulnerability that Oz was shown throughout the entire episode, but
Mm.
especially with Victor, that bathroom scene just man, it really hurt. I mean, and Tyler, just even you kind of like recounting back some of the lines and the beats. I mean, I felt for Oz, even though he pulled out a gun on poor Vic. I mean, I was like, "Fuck, dude." I mean, I'd probably feel pretty like, because I mean, that's kind of what my impression was at first. I was like, "Well, I mean, he's basically like, you're my lackey now," but like, dude really like was enjoying his company, and
Hmm.
I mean, and then that leads to Vic actually going to the bus stop to he takes the plum Maserati. He goes to the bus stop and that scene hit as well. I mean, he just sits there. You got him just looking at her, just moving on, and he knows that I don't know. I don't know if he's afraid to take the jump or he just feels that I don't know if Oz's words just kind of got to him. I mean,
Yeah, it's a very weird. Like I couldn't really decipher what he was feeling either, because even like when he was in the car after, and this is jumping a little bit, but I won't touch up on like what's happening. But when he picks up Oz after you kind of get that shot on his face, and I really don't know like what he's feeling, like if he's angry or if he's sad or he's just like this is his life now. It was such a weird thing to kind of like think about how he's feeling after that. I know definitely sadness, but I mean,
Maybe it's kind of in a sense like whenever he before he started having his panic attack PTSD kind of episode, he was getting those texts from his girlfriend, and maybe she can kind of be like a trigger for him as far as like recounting what happened that
mhm,
day.
yeah,
And maybe he can't really see himself with her, because he's just going to be constantly reliving that, and he wants to be in Gotham so he can, try and make more of not only himself but like, kind of in a sense like rebuild like some of like the workings of the city, not in a good way, but I mean the city's being built back up brick by brick.
yeah, and I know we've talked about the like the companionship between them two, but let's not move past a big factor in this episode of there's the new drug Bliss, and then it comes from Arkham. I mean, I feel like where it's growing into like I mean, maybe they're kind of tiptoeing into like the whole scarecrow type thing because if they didn't say who made it and it's from Arkham, and I'm pretty sure Dr. Crane or whatever works in Arkham. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, comment below
Pretty
and
sure
let
it
me
is.
know.
Please
But
comment and fucking subscribe if you haven't.
yeah, 41 minutes in, you better subscribe.
Yeah, no, that was another point I was gonna want to definitely hit on was that's kind of what it's seeming like.
Dude, that would be pretty sick. If this leads up to Batman 2 and it's like Scarecrow in winter, that's nuts. What the fuck? It's like a weird
And
time and like weather, but I mean, they could make that work. Honestly, that
oh, they definitely could. I'm just excited to see Matt Reeves' take on some like more like non-traditional villains that haven't really been hit on as
mhm,
much in like the films.
yeah.
I mean, you got Scarecrow and you've got you got Mr. Freeze, but just seeing like kind of his like kind of take on it, like gritty but also like comic esque.
Ooh, dude,
Um,
it would be nuts. It would be more horror
y-
style. It'd be crazy.
exactly. Real quick, another scene on the Penguin that I really liked goes back to again. Avery, you talked about this a couple episodes ago. He does not like being called the Penguin. Johnny Vitti, they catch him porking Luca's wife, and he starts shit talking Oz. He's like, "Oh, nobody's with you because they respect you. They're only with you because you can be a good hand for so long." And he starts calling him the Penguin, and just playing into Oz's insecurities. And he starts shoving a fucking phone into his mouth, and it's fucking brutal. Really good moment because Oz for a while you'll be like, not really thinking of this dude as like too bad of a guy, but then he has those moments where he just blows up, and you're just like,
Uh, don't body shame him. It will fuck you up. He will
don't
fuck
body
you up.
shame Oz. Yeah, good guy. Yeah. And then at the end, Vic comes in with the save. He fucking mows down one of the I can't remember that family, the Falcones and the Maronis. He mows down one of the
Maronis.
Maronis. Yeah, he mows down one of the Maroni goons, and he fucking comes in clutch. And Oz gets in the vehicle. He's like, "Kid, we gotta go." And then Vic's like, what about Sophia?" And he says, "Fuck her,
Oh
leave
my
her."
god, dude.
After this whole spiel of like how she needs to start trusting him and stuff, I'm like, this dude's so
I was
despicable.
so crazy. It was just let me what did he say to her? Let me start showing you, and then immediately fucking leaves her. I was like, what the fuck?
Fuck her.
It's like,
Jesus.
what? I just had the vision in my mind of the meme where it's like the girl walking and then the guy's like
Oh yeah,
doing like the back turn.
Yeah.
That Brandon, you need to hop on that as a
that'd be
meme
a good one.
page. To take
Being a trustworthy guy, going back to being a fucking lying shit talker.
you just got I was looking back at Vic.
Yep.
Ooh, what a scene that was. That's crazy because that's gonna be a build up for the next one. That is nuts.
Whenever
Like you said.
they're at the diner, and when they're ordering their food, I don't mean to cut back to just their
Oh,
relationship.
by all means, yeah.
When they're sitting there and Vic's stuttering with what he's ordering, and the waiter like finishes for him, and then Oz is like, now let the man speak.
I really like that scene.
I
There's
love
so
that
much
scene.
respect there for no reason other than I guess he just sees Vic as like him,
Hmm.
which I don't know. It's just nice to see like that Oz has a sympathetic, human nature still, even though he is who he is. He
Yeah,
still has a heart
Exactly.
somewhere in there.
Hmm.
it's great seeing Victor. Like he doesn't ever talk about Oz's looks or anything. He just kind of he's there, even if he may feel as if he can't leave or whatnot and have that type of mentality, but he never asks really about Oz. I can't remember if he's asked about his mother much, but he kind of just keeps his distance and just kind of sees Oz as a person.
Yeah, like even in private, I mean, not a bad word whenever he was speaking with his girlfriend. I mean,
Yeah.
it does come down to respect and just identifying, you know, Vic's got his problems, Oz got as his. It's a really good episode for character building on both sides, which I can appreciate. And you got some like good action. And you got that outfit that Sophia wore in the club.
We did get introduced to a new family too. I forgot what their names were, but that was pretty neat to see because the Falcons
Yes.
kicked them out or made them go into Chinatown. For people that don't know
Tryouts.
and that is watching, Chad has been trying to join for like the whole episode, but his PC's been fucking up on him.
Hey, it's not frozen anymore.
Hey.
It was froze for like 15 minutes, was just all faces there, and I couldn't do anything. So that was fun.
Well, all you missed was me shit talking Joker Foley doo doo,
Okay.
and we kind of are wrapping up on the Penguin. But if you have any
I heard
thoughts,
bits and pieces, so I
yeah,
think it was my maybe my favorite episode of the series so far. It was a really good. I like seeing a little bit of the Vic, the backstory with him, and then just everything with the introduction of the new drug. I think Avery was talking about it. It was just all around a great episode.
I hope we get to see. I hope she said that Arkham inmates they had to take that to calm down. So I'm hoping. What did we say? It was like 8 episodes.
I think so.
If we just get like a little bit of not just Scarecrow, but Dr. Crane, man, I would love it because if he is giving it to the inmates, I mean this could also add up to like the Matt Reeves's Arkham Asylum or whatever he's making it out because he said it evolved. So I don't know what that is, or they kind of haven't really touched base on what that means. But I mean, maybe it's just like a big puzzle piece that's coming together. So Batman 2, and then you got the fucking Arkham series right around the corner.
well, thank you for watching this Batman podcast
We are at
channel.
Fuck Star Wars. We're all about Batman.
Have we even talked about Star Wars other than like just trashing on Book of Boba Fett?
We talked about
The Acolyte,
what is
right?
that you watched, Avery, the Lego?
Oh yeah, Rebuild the Galaxy. I haven't finished it, but I need to go back to it. So
Watched the first episode in full. One
how'd you
night I
feel?
put it on. I mean, it's fun. I like the animation style being more stop motion
hmm
esque than like the previous Lego shorts and
Yeah.
movies being straight up animated. But I mean, it's fun. Um, maybe I did start the second one. In the first episode, does it show the clone troopers, but they're actually all clones of
General Akbar.
Admiral Akbar? Yeah.
Admiral Akbar. Why did I say General? I think so. That one, or maybe the beginning of the second one. I can't
Okay.
remember, but yeah. Uh, I do like the stop motion though. I don't vibe with the more animation style Lego stuff. I think this one kind of feels more natural to it. I liked it for what it was, but we do need to. I think it would be fun to. I don't know where everybody aligns with Star Wars. We could start with like the OG trilogy. We could do the prequels. You know, I don't care. But we should talk about at least like one podcast episode since we have the fucking name Jabba's Dungeon.
My boy Kit.
Kit Fisto.
I love him. I love the meme where it's like him from episode 2 to this and episode 3. Where it's like the Clone Wars changes a man. Because he looks like totally cracked out in the third one.
That'd be a good one for a meme. You know, before or something like before you watched Jabba's Dungeon.
Oh, that'd be so good. Jabba's Dungeon brain rot run compilations.
When we get
Yeah,
to
y'all could
pickups, and we got some Star Wars content for that.
do. Yeah, and y'all can take me to fucking church on the Star Wars shit because y'all just be throwing out like some crazy like side characters names. Like I wish I could be that fucking well versed in it.
Well, how you guys are with naming like the mafia or anything in like movies or stuff like that, when it's a basic human name, I'm like that's the actor, that's not the character. But God, I'll just spoil a recent pickup. I'm like, oh yeah, Ponda Baba. He's in like, just one
Fuck
scene in A New
yeah.
Hope,
Does his arm come off?
if I rip it hard enough.
Oh, okay. I'll just make sure. I forgot if it did or not.
No, the 3 3/4 inch one does.
Oh,
Like all of,
so that
but
one doesn't.
nope, the Black Series one doesn't.
Oh,
The version that,
I thought you were saying like if it was something like maybe it was tight in there or something. That's my bad.
oh no, I meant like if I wanted to break it.
Yeah.
What a handsome gentleman. I love
Yeah,
that.
I love Walrus Man. Those nice little face balls.
Ooh.
I
Yeah,
fucking
hey.
love that. Speaking of walrus, tusks, Kevin Smith,
Tusk. Ooh.
Justin Long.
We're gonna have to do it. If any
Just
of the
throw that out
things
there.
get the fucking attention of both of them, that will. Tusk. Maybe.
Yes.
Jeepers
We all
creepers.
just need to. We all need to dress up in our best Justin Long and Tusk cosplay.
Dude, they dropped that merch. It looks really nice.
It does look really nice. What is that? Do y'all remember?
Creepo Rama.
Yeah.
I think it was. They usually do 72-hour drops, so that would have already expired, I think.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Since we got started already on the pickups, we done pickups on the like towards the end. But I mean, do we want to get more into pickups?
We can do that and then hop into Terrifier if you want.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else, Tyler?
Yeah.
Got a lot.
Oh.
I mean, all of it's. I've unboxed everything except one thing because I feel like that was one non-Star Wars item. So I wanted to make sure I got like live reactions to that. So there was a guy I follow on Instagram, and he was just selling out a lot of figures in his collection. So he was doing $5 a pop. So picked up Chewie from A New Hope.
Oh.
Nice.
Because I need to build out my like A New Hope. Really, my original trilogy in general is lacking. So I've got that Chewie, then Ponda Baba, so he can go with Dr. Evazan. And he had 2
Oh shit.
of the best
Oh,
musicians. So now I'm up to 3 of them. I still need 4 more to have a full Cantina band.
holy fuck!
I think
Oh,
in the movie there's 7, but in the actual like band there's 9 members.
Jesus.
Make it make sense. But then I got some pre-orders in. Oh shoot, I forgot this one. I was able to steal Han and Carbonite
Hell
with
yeah.
the
Oh,
floating
that's
display
sick.
stand. I got this on eBay for $20,
Not
and
bad.
it usually goes for about 30, 35. So
That's a
We
nice
can't
one.
let Jabba know.
nope, Jabba can't know about that one.
Can't let Jabba know about that one.
Then for the Walmart pre-orders, got Balin from
Ah,
Ahsoka
hell yeah.
with the cloak, which they didn't fix the height issue. I know Avery knows, I think, about with
Yeah.
him and so on the original release for Brandon, Chad, you guys know who Balin and Shin are from Ahsoka? Okay. So when the wave came out last year originally for the show, um Balin Skull and Shin's figures were built to be exactly 6 inches tall instead of a 6-inch scale. So, if I pull Shen out, she'll probably tip some stuff over. That means that like her figure is the same height as he is, even though she should come to like his shoulders and he
It's
should
not the
stand.
proper scale.
Yeah, like it's just messed up. So I would hope they would have fixed that on this release. And he's also supposed to have an orange lightsaber blade
Yeah, it's like a red.
and red. It's
Yeah, I
stupid.
definitely thought that was red.
I also thought it was red.
I would really hope that they maybe later on update him just because the dude passed away, but
I mean, obviously at this point they released both him and Shin again with robes as a stupid, Walmart exclusive
yeah.
thing. So I doubt they're gonna go
Yeah.
back and actually. Now, come season 2, when he gets recast with a new actor, and if she gets a new costume, maybe they'll make one that's
Like,
proper height.
didn't they release her original figure? I think I have her somewhere. It's just like they re-released it and it's white. They didn't or was
Oh, like
that
for Ahsoka,
yeah.
yeah.
Was there any
And
differences in her costume? Or was it
there's
legit just white?
there's slight differences. I think like the cloth parts of her outfit are the same, but like her boots I think are different, and maybe her like wrist
Mm,
pieces.
I didn't look
It's
too
not too much new differences on
yeah.
there. Then I also got in from Ahsoka the Night Trooper 2-pack with
That
Captain
was really
Enoch,
nice. I love their
and
designs.
just zombie stormtroopers.
Mm.
I can't say no.
Yeah.
Looks like
Which
it's got some good paint on it too.
yeah, they went in on even all the bandages
Yeah. That one looks sick
and
as fuck.
cracks in the armor. Which I don't know why you put an army builder with a named character. They
Yeah,
should have just 2 night troopers and then had Enoch separate.
yeah. Or have him with Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah, like, but the big boy that I know you guys will appreciate a lot more, and there I go knocking stuff off my desk.
Oh wow. Hell yeah.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah. That box is
I
huge.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
huge. The flame accessories are huge. And I don't have any space on my Marvel shelf.
Dude, I had the Iron Man Hulkbuster and the what's his face? Not Johnny. The other Ghost Rider, they were trying to take out I canceled them because I was just like, I do not have that money right now because of course EE's like we're dropping this bitch right now, despite your money circumstances. And fuck, dude.
Pre-orders. I mean, especially like in that situation, with Hasbro, they kind of drop things quarterly, kind of like usually whenever pre-orders drop, it's every line all at once. You just get hit with it, and you're like, oh god. And then there's a dry spell. Sometimes it'll be like 2 months, nothing's coming out, and then all of a sudden for like a whole week period you get, yep, this is shipping, and then they all show up, and you're like, oh. But yeah, that's all my recent pickups.
I don't think I got anything other than the question that I showed. Yeah.
You suck.
Whoa. Whoa.
Only thing that I really have for One Piece is this little like replication of the fruit. It came with the playing cards in it.
Oh.
Oh. Oh
Happening with
no.
me.
Oh.
Oh,
You froze for a second.
For a
Makes
second.
reason. So, yeah, it comes with cards. It was like $25, and I pulled like a $35 card. So
Oh wow.
technically, it was free.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Does the fruit taste good?
No, they don't taste good.
Well, for my recent pickups, wise man once said, well, you're slim, you're weak, you got the teeth of the Hydra upon you.
Hell yeah.
Got the 4K of Long Legs, which I'll just do it like this. I initially was really like seeking this out, and on Amazon it's like 2 or 3 weeks out to get it shipped. So I found this at Quincy Walmart, and I was like,
Boo.
yeah, they're shit. You need to go down there and tell them to up their fucking customer service, because
No.
I was about this and the other thing I was about to just drop it and just be like, fuck it. But I was like, this really put it over the edge for me, because I was like, I need this in my life ASAP.
Right.
So that's one of the recent pickups. And continuing on with the Black series, I got this little Mando.
Hell yeah.
I was baited by his cape. I thought his cape was a cloth cape, but
That's what
Yeah.
Hasbro wanted everybody to think.
So that Mando is part of a new line that they're doing, which is like the A-listers. So they're taking like characters that they know that are popular and sell well and just repacking them. So that was announced at the exact same time as the Mando that I have that's new, that has the cloth cape. And all they did was just put the plastic cape on and remove the jetpack. Yeah.
oh shit,
Same
Yeah.
figure. They just
dude, and
took
that,
away the good stuff and repacked it.
Yeah. It's fucked up. It really is. It's so fucked
dude, that
up.
looks so good too.
Yeah.
Which
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that like the one that we have, Avery, like that one, you can find it in stock online occasionally, but I mean it's going usually for more than retail,
Didn't this
just
one?
because it's more elusive.
Didn't it come with a knife?
Yeah, it goes down into his right boot, I think.
Where the fuck?
You can stick it down in there.
I remember it, but I can't see it.
This one also came with a knife, but I was like, I have no idea where to stick this shit.
Yeah, it goes down in there.
Where the fuck is mine? What the fuck?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I see it as like a little gap.
I must have put it in I got spare part box. I guess I just fucking put it somewhere.
Yeah, so like that's kind of disappointing, because like one of the reasons why I got him, I was like, well, I don't know, I feel like I could like stick him out in like a dirt field and like have him look like he's in a fucking western, but I feel like you lose some of that like more natural kind of look with the plastic cape. But I mean, he still looks good for this.
Oh yeah. The
I think
plastic cape came with the original Mando.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The one I used to have had the plastic cape, and it does fine just for simple
Yeah.
posing.
Mine, like, it fucking, like, bundles up right here a lot, so it kind of, like, looks unnatural sometimes, and that's what bugs me a lot. Yeah.
It's kind of like whenever he like came out of the package, it's like the cape like can kind of be like draped over
Mm-hmm.
on his shoulder. But as far as like how I'm wanting to pose him, I kind of like having it to where it's like kind of more on his back, so I can just pose him like he's just shooting down. So
Top tier figure though. Like this Mando I really enjoy compared to the first Mando that came out.
Yeah.
it's got a good
Like,
paint job on it.
yeah. Like this Mando body, it's basically the closest that Hasbro can get to
Mhm.
like an import.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Like if they just threw in like an extra set of hands, like if they just wanted to have closed fists, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, this is a top tier one.
I will say, I don't know if this is controversial. I don't really like the dark saber that he comes with. Paint on mine just I felt like did not really look that good.
But show yours on cam because I think
I
that
I
one
got
may.
it in the other room.
Does it look like? Is it black with a white border, or is
Yes.
it like okay? Because the other dark saber that is out, I think came with Moff Gideon, and it's like it looks almost the exact same.
Oh,
It's like black with like a clear
yeah,
border.
it's like kind of translucent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of looks better. I don't know. Maybe it's like nitpicky, but as far as like watching him in the series, I didn't really watch a whole lot of him with the dark saber, so I was like, I'm just gonna pose him with the blaster.
That's fair. I mean, I kind of see Mando with just him holding the dark saber. And did you watch Book of Boba Fett? I forget.
I watched like the first 2 episodes.
Well, whenever it turns into the Book of the Mandalorian, and you see him use the dark saber,
Yep.
and he's like kind of like just murking a bunch of just aliens that work in like a drug shack. That went hard.
Bro.
That sounds pretty nice.
Bro, if season 3 was just that, holy fuck! That episode lives in my brain because him. I don't want to spoil it, but the part where he like I'll say head. That's it. I know Tyler knows what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
that shit goes hard as fuck. That episode you should just return to watch. That is peak.
Well, shit. Hell yeah. I guess all we can do now is move on to the films at hand this week. We go from one clown to another.
If you guys want to start, I'm going to go feed my cats really quick. So you guys can just hop in and I'll just join wherever you're at.
I'm also going to reconnect real quick to see if my thing will stop lagging. So,
Okay.
give me
While they are doing that, this is a good time for anybody that is watching right now to subscribe. We're trying to get the numbers up a little bit. We have also a account on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. So if you want to go look at those handles, go for it. We share. Brandon shares some memes that he makes up. Tyler does. He posts the shorts and the clips on TikTok. And Brandon, I think Tyler posted one of your things. I'm not sure before.
I'm pretty sure he did, yeah.
So if you want to see some funny stuff or just see clips, subscribe to the YouTube. That's mainly where you're going to find the clips and shorts because we hash some of those out throughout the week. And just follow our socials.
Yeah, and also the Twitter, X, whatever. We should have everything, I'm pretty sure, linked down in the description. So definitely, as far as like information on stuff that we're interested in, like today we posted about Hellboy, the Crooked Man, that came out on streaming, yesterday?
Yeah, it was like yesterday night.
Yeah. So
Yep.
some like good information for like stuff that we're interested in, and hopefully stuff that you're interested in. So
Yep.
yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about you haven't finished The Crooked Man, but you're a bit into it.
Yeah,
I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
I started it today. It is without spoilers because I do want everyone to kind of watch it on their own and without. I know probably all of you don't really have like too much information on Hellboy. Um, I grew up with the comics, love it. Tattooed him on my arm. Now the movie, this we've had the last one in 2019, which didn't do the best. Didn't really have the story it all meshed together. It was a bunch of stories. David Harbour was a great Hellboy if they just didn't make him seem like a man-child. Ron Perlman is the GOAT so far, but Jack Kesey is the new Hellboy. Now the movie's pretty good. If you like the comics, this one is dragged right from the book to the movie. The Crooked Man. It's a one-shot story. It's turned into a two-shot now, but it's pretty good so far, honestly. It's low budget. You can tell it's low budget in some scenes with CGI, but I look past it because they have stated it's low budget. So I'm not going to, go super harsh on it because if it was a super big movie with shitty graphics, I'd be like, what the fuck, But so far, makeup is really great for Hellboy. I think Jack Kesey, hopefully I'm saying his last name right, does really good because in the comics, Hellboy kind of just doesn't overreact. He kind of just lays back, and this is what his world is. So I think he portrays him really good, really, really good.
Just speaking on Hellboy, I saw this comic panel that somebody posted out of context on Twitter, I believe, and it was like, "Don't mess with me, lady. I've been drinking with skeletons," and that shit just goes hard. I'm like, that's so sick.
Yeah, he gets a lot of good one-liners. I'm surprised you haven't seen the meme of him that it's like Abe and Abe Sapien, the like fish guy, but and Hellboy yells, "It's a monkey with the monkey has a gun," and it's just like a monkey panel, and he has a fucking gun. It's funny, but yeah, Hellboy's a great comic. I love it.
My weakness is any like man fish hybrid. So I've seen bits of that guy.
Yeah, Abe Sapien's really good.
Except for Tusk. God, Tusk just, I remember whenever I first watched it, I was like, holy fuck. Like, I need to get inebriated and watch it.
Well, funny thing is, since we're doing the Justin Long January month or whatever we called it,
Yes.
I've never watched Tusk. So,
Damn, really?
Yeah, I've never watched Tusk. I have always wanted to, but I just never put the effort to do it, even though I'm a Kevin Smith fan. I've been recently going back into like watching Clerks and whatnot, and just seeing how well it holds up nowadays to me, which I really like still. I'm gonna go through all of his movies, but for the Justin Long January, I'm saving Tusk for my first time for that. So
Absolutely. It'd be super cool.
Avery, with you saying watching the new Hellboy movie and like noticing how bad like the special effects are and just the budget being so low, I've been rewatching Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
I've got Michaela to start watching it, and I do not remember the CGI looking atrocious.
Oh man,
but it does.
There's nothing that comes to mind when I think of Ash vs. Evil Dead CGI wise. So I would probably have to, go back as well and watch and just see how bad it is.
What is it even streaming on?
Stars.
Oh.
So it's no longer on
Deep
Netflix?
cut.
I think you can watch it through maybe Hulu too.
Wasn't there like is there a movie still coming with him? Or is that
animated? I thought is what I remember Bruce Campbell saying that he's done live action, but he's open to do voice work.
And, there's always the alternative option. If you don't have it on a streaming service or you can't find it on a streaming service, you can always buy the physical copy, which I don't really normally tend to do with TV shows. So
there in my brain recently, it's something switched where I'm like, I'm gonna start buying physical media again because after I know it's not like a big deal, and it's not, but how easily they can take things off, and you just never see them again after you're paying for these streaming services. And I get that they're, there's probably stuff that expires. They pay for something for a certain time, and then it expires, goes to another network or whatever. But then like Disney Plus took out like all of the Indiana Jones, and I was just like, wow,
Oh, did they?
that's an article that I saw. I don't know if it's true, but if that is true, it's kind of nuts. Kind of nuts.
Like they literally own Lucasfilm, so that
It might not be true, but
hey, I mean, I'd say it is a big deal. I mean, it's good because, I mean, hopefully a lot of the times it can like support the artists. Like again with the Crooked Man, I think you said a physical copy is coming out in December.
mhm.
So I mean, even if you're a Hellboy fan, I mean, Mike Mignola vouches for the film, and just with low budget films in general, like Skinamarink, Tyler's favorite film, I got it on Blu-ray. You just got to support, especially the lower budget films. I mean, it's not going to make or break to buy like Jaws for like the fourth or fifth time, like I have. But I mean, especially for like some of the lower budget films, I mean, that's always going to be like a good source, you know, because I feel like everything goes in a bell curve. I feel like, especially on like older, means of media, like vinyls used to be the big thing, and then they were out, and now they're back, and
Mhm.
same with like cassettes and just all sorts of stuff.
Can confirm, Avery, they are not on Disney Plus anymore.
Yeah, I was just
Wow.
reading it
The
saying
only one is Dial of Destiny.
it says Paramount retains the distribution rights to the Steven Spielberg era of Indiana Jones, beginning from October 1st, 2024. All of them have all been removed from Disney Plus.
are they going to Paramount?
Maybe
Plus?
there was an Indiana Jones on Paramount before.
I'll see if they're there now.
Hey boys, but we got dog shit Kathleen Kennedy Dial of Destiny. Where you got one of the fucking worst side characters in the last couple years.
Yes, yeah.
They are on Paramount.
Oh, I mean that's good that they went over, but I'm just gonna buy them, and I'm just gonna start buying physical media again.
I was gonna say they are on my shelf. Even Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I haven't watched in a while. But all right, Terrifiers. We go from one clown to another. Boys, retrospectives on Terrifier.
I'm gonna let you guys start because I gotta pee real bad.
I enjoyed both of them more than I originally did, but I still am not sold on the franchise itself.
Interesting.
But art, I love.
That's kind of
That's
the way
my
I feel.
quick.
Like they're good movies to just like watch, a couple times. But as a whole, like a big, franchise, I don't know yet.
I am a shill. I'm caught up in the hype train. I'm all for it. I think it's crazy. I'm pretty sure Terrifier 4 is already announced.
Mhm.
I mean, just for the pure fact of art, I mean, he's great. And same thing as you had said, Tyler, from a first initial watch to these rewatches, I liked both of them more, especially the second one on a rewatch. But for the first Terrifier, um, it's rough. I mean, it's definitely something you got to get acquainted to. I mean, definitely know what you're getting in for. Um, Chad, this was your first time viewing. Well, you saw Terrifier. You saw the first Terrifier a little while ago, didn't you?
It was like 2 weeks ago,
Uh
and
huh.
then like a week after that, I watched the second one.
What was like your initial thoughts, just as far as like, because I mean, talk about a low budget film that, kind of blew up into what it is now, which you love to see. I mean, going into like a typical slasher, like a low budget slasher, like what was your thoughts kind of first delving into the story?
I'll say the first one, I didn't feel like there really was much of a story. Like there was a loose one that they're
Yeah.
trying to tell. Um, I did like a lot of the killings that they had in that though, because you can see they put time and effort into like trying to make it look, as realistic and stuff as they can for a low budget film.
Hmm.
And then the second one, it actually had a story and it's, trying to build out the world of Terrifier. So
And I had the budget to boot.
yes. And so that's what I'm hoping for the third one. They can build off that story they had in the second one with a bigger budget.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like even just like in the first initial scene when you get Art kind of like it's kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street esque, like
Mm.
him getting all of his tools and shit ready, and you got the interview going on the TV, and you get the two characters that you're introduced to, and you just get Art rolling down the streets looking extra fucking creepy with his trash bag. I think he has a scat fetish.
I'd say so. He looks like he
Yeah.
would.
Well, I mean, he's like always dabbling in the doo doo. Like in the pizza parlor, he
Hmm.
like just like took a big old like he probably ate some like Taco Bell beforehand and smeared it all over the walls.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Um I feel like even in the first one, like you said, Chad, you can see just the effort
Mm-hmm.
really went a lot into the special effects because the well, really, the first kill you get is from Vicky in the beginning whenever she kills the news reporter, which that was pretty fucking gnarly too. I mean, her like gouging out her, her
Yeah.
eyeballs and shit. I mean, there's a lot of spoilers for Terrifier, by the way. A lot of crazy shit that happened in it, but the pizza guys, they got some crazy ass deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say the one that caught me most off guard was I can't remember what her name was, but where she was hanging upside down and saws her
Dawn.
right in half.
So, your guys' opinion between that kill from the original and the bedroom scene in two?
So this is the question. Yep, this is like one of the comparisons we need to do.
Yeah.
Tyler, I thought of that whenever I was watching it. I was like, what is worse?
Because I think we briefly touched on this. Maybe we weren't recording a
Yeah,
past time, and I think I just mentioned it, and I had an opinion, and I think I've changed slightly.
interesting. Jesus Christ. Whenever Dawn is getting sawed in half, and there's this one shot, and it looks so real when it's from behind and you like see her legs shaking. Like you're getting like her legs and like it's like kind of like from her like butt down to her legs, and you just see her legs shaking. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, can you imagine?
Mm,
Don't want to.
No.
Sounds like a good time. But in two, you're getting your fucking your forehead just cut. You're getting literally salt in the wounds. Oh my god! I think what I said initially, Tyler, was two was worse, and I'm deciding between both of them. I think I still am gonna go with two, but one, I forgot how hard one hit.
I was always a one guy, but this rewatch of them two actually made me not like sick to my stomach in that sense, but like when it was on, it was 100%. I was staring at it, going like, "Man, this is messed up. This is too much." Like, but not the first one. Still, when I saw the her getting sawed down the middle in the first movie, I was like, "That is pretty gnarly in the best sense. Disgusting, but awesome.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm leaning more towards the second one now, but that first one just holds like a place for me.
Oh, for sure.
So
I don't know, like just imagining being sawed in half, bro. Is like, when do you think the pain stops? Like, when do you think like your body just like fucking gives up? Because like that is insane from your like the area, dog.
Mhm.
Art is a sadistic motherfucker because he fucking finished sawing her in half pretty much, and she was long dead before he
Yeah,
got finished.
like I just want to know, like, fuck, like that one's just, I don't know. To me, I know both of them are fucking probably painful as fuck, but that one is just like, holy fuck. That one
at
is
least that
crazy.
one's quicker. I mean, definitely she probably didn't feel it as long as
The
the girl.
levels, this motherfucker, whenever he was killing, I can't remember that girl's name, but whenever he was killing her, I forgot that part where he was like straddling her like from her back and grabbed her arm and fucking like dislocated,
Yeah,
broke her arm. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know. Maybe the second one is worse, but I just, maybe it's just me being cringed out with going down the middle. I don't know.
Chad, what do you think?
To me, I think at first, first watch, the first one was worse, and then it kind of prepared me to watch for the second one. But I think the second one would have been, more painful and would have been a little worse than what the first one was.
This makes me wonder like how bad it's gonna be for 3. If that stuff is true, if they walked out, which I kind of agree with Tyler. I don't know if I believe it 100% or not.
Y'all are some Terrifier conspiracy theorists?
I just feel like that helps people get into theaters for it. But that's just me though.
My other conspiracy is, so the first, you guys have all seen the trailer for
Mm-hmm.
Terrifier 3, the first one,
Yeah.
where it insinuates that Art kills that girl on Christmas Eve when she's coming downstairs because she thinks he's Santa. And people are
Okay.
like, Art's gonna kill a kid. Well, in Terrifier 2, the one kid in the dream sequence for the Clown Cafe that's like eating the cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
First of all, he dies. We don't see it on camera necessarily, but it shows him dead. The brother in Terrifier 2 literally gets tortured. And in the All Hallows Eve shorts that Art originally originated in, he kills kids in those. So people that are up in arms being like, I swear if Art kills a kid in Terrifier 3, I'm drawing the line. I'm literally like,
It's like, dog, do you remember this is a fucking horror film? Like,
Yeah,
what
dude.
what are we talking about here? Like, we're not talking about media, like full on. Well, I mean, maybe we are talking about art going full on, but it's a movie. There's no line for you to be drawn. It's like,
A chick getting sawed in half from, nether regions down, I can suffice, but a kid getting killed,
yeah, or
you
like, what
can't
was
do.
it? The cereal, did it have like razor blades in it or some shit, or
And like
nails?
roaches. Hmm.
Like, come on.
One thing I wanted to touch on that was a scene. I just love when Art has these like little moments with people. Whenever Tara is going through that building, I don't even know. I think it's an apartment complex, and she walks through and she first like sees Art after he has already like got Dawn. He's like got his hands up, and it just holds, and it holds, and I love that. There's no like crazy like sound with it. It's just him like sitting there. I feel like sometimes that's like the creepiest shit is like not when it needs to be accompanied by like some music cue to be like,
Mm.
okay, you can be like frightened now. It's just like that happens and you're like, oh fuck. And that's basically how she felt. So
I think one of the funniest things for me was in the second one where he was in like the Halloween department store and he was just trying on the different glasses and stuff. Like that was one of the
Yes.
funniest bits to me.
In the
Yes.
store after the chaos has ensued, and you have the mom bringing the kid up to the door,
Mm-hmm.
and he's standing there and he's like holding the dude's head, and when the kid like walks away, then he just like chucks the head and it's like
Yep.
like
Or in the first one, whenever Vicky stabs a railroad spike through his shoe and she's like running away and he just hits her with the so good.
yeah, like art is what carries these movies.
Hmm. Yeah.
If it was any other generic kind of slasher, it wouldn't work as good.
And
Yeah.
if he didn't have that like comedic effect either, because I think that's what kind of like makes some of these movies is like he's trying to be funny to people, not just I'm out here killing, even though that's technically what it's doing. But
Tyler, you probably know who I'm referring to, but I saw this brain rot YouTuber take where they were like, well, it was a review on the first Terrifier, and they were like, well, I felt like Art, he would have been better had he like talked or like, had, or he had dialogue. And it's just like, no, dog, that's like what's the best part about him
Hmm.
is even when he is being like even when pain's being put upon him, he's mute. He's like almost like a mime.
That's
That's what's
that's
so unique.
that's how I see him, as like a mime clown. Because he's black and white, and then he just doesn't talk or anything. He uses hand gestures and stuff like that. I don't think it would go great with him talking. I think that would be kind of, I don't know, not boring, but just kind of uh, maybe more generic, I guess.
Exactly. It would make him more generic. I mean, it goes back to like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, like going to more like in a physicality sort of sense, like not so much relying on, dialogue.
Mm.
I think those killers work the best too because that you have an unnerving sense when someone's having pain inflicted upon them and they don't make sound. You take somebody like Leatherface. Yeah, I mean it's seeing this like big man baby, whine and cry and stuff and react when he gets hurt is still scary, but there's just something about just a force that has literally no emotion. But I mean, in Art's case, he has emotion, but it's in the like sadistic way.
Only in the sadistic ways, which is like the best part. I wanted your all's opinion on this. Something that I just like, it always like just takes me aback is that scene that he has with the cat lady whenever he starts sucking on his thumb and is being coddled by her.
Art's gonna sling that thing, man. Sling that thing.
Now, I remember seeing a theory that um, Crazy Cat Lady is supposed to be the mom of the little demon girl
The
in the
little pale
second
girl.
movie. Because, like, she has that little baby that she carries around, which, I guess would be like her trying to replace her actual kid.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know like how deep that even had like validity, but I remember a couple months ago seeing somebody point that out.
It's interesting too because it talks in the second one about how that girl was like murdered or had died somehow. I mean, I could totally see, and them trying to interconnect the movies in the universe. I could definitely see that.
So kind of a first
Um,
one and the third one, maybe like kind of briefly go over it or something.
mhm. I think it's interesting whenever you got like moments of Art like eating people or like like gnawing on some human flesh. Because whenever I see him, I never think of that. But at the end of the first movie, you get him, of course, eating Vicky's face, and in the second one, you got him gnawing on Jonathan's ankle. It's just always like kind of takes me aback whenever he gets to some of the cannibalistic tendencies.
I guess we just look past that. You know,
Just like an oopsie.
Bro was hungry.
we've seen him do worse stuff.
That's what makes me question him. I'm just like, what's really going on here? And it's crazy in the first one, you get like a little view of him without the makeup on his face in the mirror. It's like, what does this motherfucker look like?
Well, I
I
love
just
in
feel
the
like
second movie when he's at the laundromat and he's sitting there with the newspaper, but he's still got the face paint. You know,
and his
yeah,
little head condom.
Yeah, and I guess like practical effects wise, the little balaclava that he wears, is probably helping hide a lot of the special effects to get his face structure hidden. So I wonder how they were able to pull it off in the second movie with him.
Well, didn't he still have it on?
I don't. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought when he's sitting there at the laundromat naked, I don't remember him having the balaclava on. I thought it was just the face paint.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I can't
I
remember.
think he does have it on.
Oh,
I think he does.
I really wanted the Funko Pop of that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was cool to see the Ghostface Funkos today, but it wasn't like the one that Hot Topic has. So.
I know Tyler's gonna be he's gonna be scooping
I
up those Ghostface.
I love that. I will go out and purchase them all.
Yes. Just in case you didn't know, just in case you missed it, Tyler Bell is the biggest Scream fan.
It's
This side of the equator.
my favorite franchise.
Sure.
I watched the first one for the first time.
That one is good.
That one is good.
Drew Barrymore.
Yep. It's a good movie.
I think they hot take. I think they should have just left the first one.
I would have to say, I remember I had this discussion with Michaela because Scream is her favorite franchise for horror. And I said something like, I think that it would be more impactful if there was just one. And then she was like, well, yeah, but at the same time, it's literally supposed to be like a self parody of horror movies.
Yeah.
So, like, having the sequels, repeat with the
It would
same
make
characters,
sense.
like, it makes sense. And I'm like, well, I guess, yeah, you're right. But
The first one is so iconic. I feel like you really get what Scream's about, and like you're saying the parody and stuff. But like I feel we're 7 deep in now.
going on 7, yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't enjoy the last one
Oh,
that
I love the
much.
last one.
Like I liked what they did with some characters, and I liked the setup with like all the outfits and such. But I was just like, here's another Scream. That's just me personally though. But
Well, there's a lot of controversy out about the next Scream, so bear that in mind.
I think it would be fun, and for Matthew Lillard to come back for just like one, I think that would be a fun thing. I mean, what?
Originally I wanted that. Now, before Scream 6 or before the whole controversies, I was on the train of like, bring back Stu. Because obviously, if what's her face, the cop lady in 6, can't think of her name, but we thought she died originally in Scream 4, and she comes back in this one. You can totally play it that Stu didn't actually die in the original, and that he's stayed under the radar and he's leading, like the Ghostface cult. And when 6 was coming out, I was like, that's totally what they're doing with the whole like, Ghostface Museum, and then they didn't. And then now with them dropping the new cast and reverting back to Sidney Prescott story, I feel like the only thing they can really do at this point is to follow on that theory of having Stu come back. So now I'm like, if they do that, is it just a ploy because they know that's what we want?
Yeah. Fan
So,
service. I like the
yeah.
idea of that though, like a stew cult. I like that idea. I feel like that could play out good, but like, yeah, at this point, I guess it'd be more fan service. But that could be a really cool movie if it was like a cult situation. I mean, I guess it is sort of like a cult thing, like with Ghostface, but to dive like into his type of involvement, that would be pretty neat.
I'd
But
follow Matthew Lillard anywhere.
what? Oh yeah, I know. Fucking, I'll follow him right into a fucking bathroom,
I'll
dog.
just
Like
go where he needs me to, you know?
right now.
I've only seen the first Scream. I have
Well,
no idea what's going on.
oh, count yourself lucky.
I'll be meeting Matthew Lillard and Skeet in 2 weeks.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Hey, be like, yo, guest on our podcast.
Dude, he seems so chill. He probably would. Dude, he seems so fucking cool.
Yeah.
He's just like a wholesome dad.
And then there's Skeet, just looks like he actually is an alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
Oh,
yeah.
James Kennedy, his like stuff, or Jamie Kennedy is right. That's what he likes to go by or whatever. His YouTube channel, man. He tries to do like, and this is no hate. I just want to clarify, like, I don't want any. I don't want that to be perceived as hate. He's a pretty cool guy. I like him as an actor. Son of the Mask, blah blah blah. But his podcast and stuff, when he uploads, it doesn't really get a lot of views. Surprisingly, it don't. You know, and he has comedians and some actors on, but it just doesn't get up there. And that's not hate. I just want to say I don't want Jamie Kennedy coming after my ass. Okay, or anybody in that type of.
So Jamie Kennedy was the one that was on the couch that was like the big movie dude, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In Scream.
He was the guy like saying these are the rules type.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for.
Starts with an R, I think.
I was waiting on clarification from Tyler since he's the biggest Scream fan.
Yeah, I think. Shoot, I want to say his character's name starts with an R.
Not Randy, but
Might be Randy. That sounds kind of familiar.
I think Randy.
What a pull.
Yeah, Randy Meeks.
oh.
All right,
okay.
Avery, you're the biggest Scream fan now.
that was a shot in the dark. No,
Sorry, guys. A new competitor has been crowned.
Star Wars and Scream characters. Those are my go-tos. Anything else, I'm toast.
Dude, that would be sick. Imagine Matthew Lillard on this fucking podcast. That would be crazy.
Imagine Tyler's cat and Chad's cat on this podcast.
One's peeking out the corner in the back of Tyler's.
Oh shoot, yeah. He's
Yeah,
bathing.
that's why I said that.
No cats.
And I included
never
Chat.
mind.
Damn thickums.
Get them big eyes.
That's my skinny one.
Ooh.
Yeah, my other one's about 25 pounds. He's laying on his couch right now.
His couch.
Yeah, we put one in this computer room, and that's where he sleeps every night now. So
That's
he
so
has claimed
sweet.
it as his couch.
A couple points I want to hit on for Terrifier 2 because I went from a first Terrifier. If I gave it a numerical rating, I gave it 3.5 stars. I kept it as the same rating as whenever I watched it the first time. Terrifier 2, I went from 3.5 to 4. I liked whenever the dude got stabbed in the dick and he ripped his dick off and then he pushed it up against the car window and just like smeared it. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And they punched the hole through the window. I thought the bathroom scene with that really fucking annoying bitch that he throws the acid in her face. And dude, this was such a gnarly weapon. The weapon where he had like, it was like a table leg and he had like the spikes and like the knife and the nails and shit like hammered into it. And there was this one shot where he like hits her in the knee and her kneecap just like explodes. That shit had me cringing. It was so awesome. And then he hit her in the chest and her chest just like exploded. Sienna is a really good character. Sienna versus Art was real good. So shout out David Howard Thornton and Lauren Lavera.
Man, oh man, Terrifier. I
How do
really
y'all
am.
feel-
Hmm?
Sorry, Avery.
No,
go
you're
ahead.
good. I was just gonna say I'm excited to see the third one.
How do you all think or have feelings with the supernatural aspects? Like, definitely the first one is very grounded,
Mhm.
other than, you know, Art shoots himself in the head and then he's alive.
Like,
So it's a little bit of supernatural. And then the second one just dives straight into, like, he's getting birthed out of what's her face and the whole kind of
Vicky.
like um scene that Sienna has, where she gets
Where she's like
power.
in, yeah.
Yeah. How do y'all feel about the supernatural aspect? Because I'm honestly that's my biggest drawback on Terrifier 2, especially is the supernatural vibes.
I can agree with that. I just feel like to make these kind of movies work now is they're always going to have some sort of supernatural element to them. I just hope they don't have some like big backstory in the third one about well, this is how he came back and this is how she got her power, and if you want to have it in there, just leave it. Just briefly touch on it.
the I can I can accept it because of like how goofy it kind of seems. And it kind of like fits within that like character type of art being kind of goofy. But like, I mean, I don't love it, but I can get with it. Like I can just be like, yeah, it's there. But I do have a lot of questions, and like to what Chad's saying, hopefully like the third one's not like a deep dive lore type thing of why this is this way.
Yeah. I don't want something super in depth, but
Mhm.
at least something to explain the whole their dad had visions
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
a killer
Yeah.
clown, and here's an outfit you're going to wear to
Yeah.
vanquish him.
Call me crazy. I thought this was just gonna be a me and Tyler opposition as per usual. This second time around, I was kind of fucking with it. I mean, I felt like it just kind of hit on the. It kind of gave me like Jason Lives vibes. Like it was just like it hit on the super. You go from
Yeah,
like the more grounded, realistic kind of realistic, but like slasher aspects to the more supernatural kind of vibe. So there are
yeah.
definitely a lot of questions left to be answered, but I didn't mind it as much the second time around for whatever reason.
Yeah, I also enjoyed, I mean, like, at this time around with the supernatural aspect, I accepted it. And, like, I still vibe with it, but I don't know. I like, for the most part, even though I'm wearing a freaking Freddy shirt right now, I prefer my slashers grounded, which reminds me of a topic which we can dive into here in a minute if you guys want to, with the Michael Myers timeline or
Where we were gonna decide
Oh,
which Michael Myers was gonna, because that's a segment we're totally gonna
yep.
remember to do.
That is I love how we're like we need to cut this shit short, and then we're like add a segment, add a
yeah,
fucking segment.
we're still under 2 hours
We
of
To
are.
recording.
be fair, the news was kind of light. Alien Isolation 2 is coming out.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah! Can't wait for that. Good damn game.
Michael Myers. Do we want to? I'm gonna say out of all the context for all the Michael Myers in the entire Halloween film franchise, who would win in like a battle royal of them to the death? I would say Rob Zombie's Halloween, Tyler Mane, Michael Myers. Dude was a brute. He was like close to 7 feet tall, and he fucking took Ken Foray and just like slam the shit out of him into a bloody pulp in a gas station bathroom. So that's like a beastly Michael Myers. A brute of
But
a
he
man.
did not know how to shower.
And he ate a dog. But I'm really only counting the original, well, the first Rob Zombie Halloween.
Okay, yeah, if you consolidate just that first movie, I'll give you a.
That's
You might not get eliminated.
that was honestly probably what I was gonna go with as well. Just how broody he is. Just like, dude, that guy is massive. That guy is fucking massive. Like in the first movie when he opens up the guard or whatever, opens up the door and Michael's sitting at his desk making a mask. The dude's fucking massive. Like I remember watching that, I was like scared of just that. Like holy fuck. Like um that I would definitely choose him, but now that I'm thinking like other ones. H2O, Michael Myers hanging off that fucking pipe, you know? just fuck.
Halloween Resurrection, Michael Myers, where he kisses his sister. Let's go.
Let's go trick or treat.
What the fuck?
God.
See, if we're basing this discussion on a single movie, Michael, I think I do have to agree with Tyler Mane from Rob Zombie's first Halloween.
Yeah.
If we're going with a timeline version of Michael, I thought it like this. The newest interpretation with James Hugh Courtney. I know Brandon's not watched Halloween Ends. I know, Avery, have you watched Ends?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay. And Chad, you've not watched any of the Halloween, have you?
I have.
Oh, I thought that was Friday that you had seen some of.
I think I've seen the first and the second Friday the 13th. I've seen the 2018 Halloween,
Okay.
Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends.
Okay.
Not
okay.
even
So,
the original. Yeah,
Interesting.
so
This is your last podcast, buddy.
I'm out of here.
No, just kidding.
at least
Yeah,
you
beat it
all
off.
Working through movies though.
You are. You're grinding. Watching them
So-
as we record.
Pretty much. One second monitor here.
lack of better terms, that version of Michael doesn't have a pleasant end. Tyler Mane's version also does not have a pleasant end. The Halloween Resurrection H2O timeline, where it's 1-2 H2O Resurrection. Well, but if you go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, dude literally survives getting shot 6 times, burning alive inside Haddonfield Memorial, getting shot flowing down a river, and whatever green goo is in Curse. He never
But
died in that timeline.
But you gotta think he's disqualified because of incestual relations.
Yeah, that's bad.
Says who?
But
You can murder dozens and dozens of people, but incest, no.
listen, it's only implied in the theatrical version.
In one cut, it's only implied.
The director's cut, it's heavily implied. Not lightly implied. It's heavily implied. But he never
Yeah,
dies.
no.
So
And was it Halloween 4? He stabs a dude with a fucking shotgun. I think it was. He stabs in like the sheriff's house or something. He takes a double barrel shotgun and just shoves it through a dude.
I believe
Shit
so.
goes hard. But who's gonna win in a 1v1? 7-foot Michael Myers or old grandpappy Michael Myers, geriatric Michael Myers?
Tyler Mane all day. I mean,
Now, Thorn Trilogy, man, actually was kind of like nasty with it, though. You do bring up a good point.
Thorn Trilogy, Michael, basically unbeatable. So,
I really didn't think about it in that sense, but that is true. He really goes through it.
yeah. I would say my preferred Halloween timeline is just the original.
Yeah,
And
I
then
agree.
just leave it as there's a man in the night broke into your house, tried to kill you, you shot him, and he disappeared.
Yeah.
This month I am wanting to finish, or I'm wanting to marathon the Halloween films because I haven't watched 5 all the way through. I've never seen 6. But just a lot of them I haven't seen in quite a while, and I think I got 1 through Resurrection all in 4K. So that's ones I've been meaning to knock off the list.
I've wanted to go back to the Rob Zombies because I've only watched them once a piece.
Just, be interesting to do for the pod.
Yeah, I remember enjoying the first one at least for being more brutal than the original. No means like a really good movie on its own merit, but then you just take Rob Zombie 2 and you got a in there, it seems like. So
I don't know what the fuck he was thinking with that one. Rob, the first one, like, it was neat seeing, like I've brought this up before, I think a while back, like the kid version of Michael, more in-depth version of him. But like, I don't know, it kind of made me cringe when I used to watch it too.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew your ass was gonna say that.
Yeah, the kid stuff kind of made me cringe a bit.
It is cringy.
But like seeing him full on like an adult Michael when it came to him being like locked up and him building masks and stuff, I thought that was pretty neat to see that adult version, but kind of like a pre just him in a mask type thing.
What were they feeding my boy in Haddonfield Memorial? I mean, because dude grew like a damn beanstalk. He went from an average looking boy to like a 7-foot behemoth of a man.
have you guys seen the guy who played Michael as a kid? What he is like now?
Yeah. At Gray something.
And he looks like you'd see him at Sheets at about 2 a.m.
Yes, I
or
have
like a
seen him.
Spencer's.
Leave you alone.
Yeah, SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him actually.
He should have been the new Crow.
He was the Crow. He was Eric. Oh my
Bro's
god.
the real life Crow.
Jesus Christ.
As far as news, like I said, the studio behind Alien Isolation announced that they're going to be doing a second Alien Isolation game, so it's going to be real cool.
Oh fucking time.
Yeah, that gives me even more incentive to play Alien Isolation because I've been meaning to.
Yeah, that
We'll say
top tier.
I have been playing a little bit of Resident Evil 2 remake, Chadwick.
Good game. Good game.
That just came super hard. His eyes rolled back in his head and everything.
Shit's scary.
I don't know if you guys have played it, but Silent Hill 2 came out.
I'm thinking about getting that, but I don't know yet.
Yeah.
See, I looked up online. Do you need to play the first one to understand the second one? And apparently you don't. So, and it looks dope.
Looks really good. Yeah.
All right. Well,
you pick up on payday.
Yup. Is there any more news topics that we were thinking of?
Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2 is officially confirmed.
I'm gonna call out that fucking commenter too that said it's gonna be trash or something. I was gonna comment, but I was like, I'll hold off. But it's so funny seeing his TikToks because just the photos make people comment stuff, and I love it because I didn't expect somebody to be like, oh, it's gonna be trash, just like season 1. It's like, wow, what the fuck?
I love though that literally videos of us just sitting down talking, you taking the effort. Well, first of all, the effort for us to sit down and record, then for you to edit it, and then re-upload it. It gets like 150, 200 views, maybe like 5 likes. But God forbid, all I do is go on Google, find a pic, put some text over top, and
They
upload
blow
it,
up.
and they get, close to, 800. Maybe get like 40, 50 likes and a couple comments, and I'm like, I did that within 30 seconds.
Just like that one yesterday. It was like, what, 175,000 likes somebody had a fucking picture? I was like, what? That's all we need. We'll just bait them in. That's, I mean, I guess.
I just wish TikTok or other platforms like YouTube, especially, and like Instagram, I wish it was like you were able to kind of like widen your audience. I feel like on Instagram, especially, it's hard. I feel like YouTube, you'll get lucky every now and then with the algorithm, but you know, hopefully Jabba doesn't feed us to the Rancor anytime soon. But still got just a long January, and Nosferatu, Northman got quite a bit on deck.
I think the motion of the podcast is definitely rolling. We're getting views, and pretty good likes. Subscribing is a big part. So if you're watching, subscribe. I'll say it. I'm gonna say it more often now because there is a lot more people that's not subscribed that are watching than people that are. So it's a good thing if you want to support to subscribe. I mean, we love doing this. We talk about it all the time in Discord about ideas and stuff. So I'm sure that none of us are looking at like well, fuck this, it's not working type thing, because it's just something we enjoy doing. So just subscribe. That's all you really gotta do.
It was real cool. The other day, someone that I don't normally talk to reached out to me, and they were like, "Yo, I watch the podcast and stuff. Like, shit's dope." And that was really cool. I mean, because I feel like we all kind of have our own sort of like niches, and then there's a lot of stuff that we all kind of overlap on. So we can hit a lot of different like topics, and like put each other onto stuff, and then in turn put other people onto stuff, and still hit on the normal everyday sort of news.
Very fun podcast. I do like that, dude. People coming up and saying stuff. I do have a coworker now that you said that at my job, and the first thing he said to me is like, "Oh, I saw your clip of your friend hating Adam Sandler." I was like, "I know, dude. Like, I didn't expect that either." I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, people like they watch it. I know probably some people like watch it and they don't want to bring it up because they feel like maybe it's like embarrassing or like awkward or something like that. But it's super cool. We're all putting effort in, so I love hearing feedback, and especially from strangers. I don't, it is what it is.
I have the disadvantage of not having anyone that knows you guys really that I interact with over here. So,
True.
yeah.
Like I said, we'll have to figure out a way to not Disneyfy so much our favorite hut, and maybe once we kind of get things rolling more, and we get liquid death in on all of us consuming our liquid death. I just did not find my mango chainsaw. Maybe down the line, whenever we got some more traction stuff, we can like have some like merch and stuff, like all that good stuff.
Yep, there's prototypes. So
There is a prototype.
there's prototypes. Just saying.
All right. Well, the Hellboy Crooked Man is out on streaming platforms. Go support that. We got Terrifier 3 coming out. Early release Thursday, but widespread Friday. We're all gonna see that. And the Penguin coming out Sunday, and I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head.
That's the thing we're gonna have to do for like Instagrams, like get a group photo or something like that.
Oh, that'd be sick. I'm gonna probably take my pants off as soon as
Oh.
as we, you know.
Wait, you're wearing pants?
Got him.
I bet you Chad
Oh,
doesn't even have underwear on.
I do. I had to think about it for a minute. I didn't go to work today, so I was like, what all did I do today?
Dude.
but yeah, on record, Todd Phillips, you're below Adam Sandler. So
Yeah, I'll
let
throw
that be
this.
on record.
I'll throw this out there too. Somebody brought up The Crow earlier. That movie's dog ass. The more I kept thinking about it, like after we did that podcast, I was like, this shit don't make sense. Don't fucking watch that movie. It's complete ass. I don't know what they were thinking, and that's probably the worst movie I've probably watched of The Crow. So
Damn.
I'm not even kidding. Like there's stuff in that movie that make no fucking sense. No fucking sense. And it was just like after we did that podcast, I was just kept thinking of stuff and trying to connect stuff. I was like, the
Wait a
fuck is
second.
this? Like, yeah, so terrible movie.
Yep. Don't see Joker, Foley, doo-doo. Just whether you can watch it on streaming or you have other means of watching it, or just don't watch it at all. Watch the first film.
Yeah, Todd Phillips don't give a fuck about the film. Why should you?
Exactly.
And save
You
your
hate to
money
see.
and watch a new comic book movie that comes out this year, like Venom 3, The Last Goon, or Craven. It's Craven time.
It's great. The Sonyverse. The Sonyverse. There is news. One more thing before we go. There is supposedly some information on the new Spider-Man film that Andrew Garfield might make an appearance. So,
Oh, they're for sure all popping up again
oh,
because
for
Sony
sure.
just wants to make more money, which I don't want to happen.
Except for when they make their own films.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted a street level, story originally, like with Daredevil and Kingpin, cracking down on superheroes, but instead we're probably going to get some multiverse
Space.
hopping.
Interdimensional.
Didn't they say what the working title is of the movie?
I saw a leak that, what's Null's?
The King in Black.
Yeah, nickname. Yeah, I saw that was like a leaked working title.
Maybe that'll lead
So-
on from Venom 3 whenever it comes out.
Yeah. We've gotten so many things that are like, it's world ending. It's like, bro, can I have a chapter of this character before we jump back down the throat of some god or something?
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure, and we're gonna go back to our cells and hopefully not get fed to the Rancor. So
Yeah. Try not to get what Arthur Fleck got. So
and that's what I was thinking. My intrusive thought. So I'm glad you said that.
sir.